Describe to me what, like, if someone knew nothing about guns, how would you explain to them what an AR-15 is?
An AR-15 is a long rifle, and it's used as a sporting rifle. It shoots in semi-automatic fire, and then there's fully automatic fire. Fully automatic fire is only meant for the military. No legal person is allowed to get it unless they have a firearms license or something like that in the state of Florida.
All right, and so, again, what's the difference between, for a complete novice, between a semi-automatic and a full automatic?
Fully automatic is continuous fire.
Okay.
And semi-automatic is single fire. So every time you pull the trigger, you only pull once.
Okay, so does that mean you have to pull for each time you fire it, or does it do it on its own?
So like that.
Okay.
While in fully automatic, you just hold on as long as possible until the rounds are completely empty.
Okay. Okay, and so he has a good bit of detailed knowledge about the AR-15. There are other parts of my interview where he discusses this weapon in more detail. He also acknowledges that each click of the trigger is a voluntary, you have to do it. You have to click it yourself. It doesn't just start shooting people on its own. So every click of that automatic weapon was automatic from his finger, but not from a mechanic of a gun. It's something he did.
Okay. And then you did something with visual spatial, the marksmanship?
Yes. So one of the other real-life practical areas you might want to examine are both hand-eye motor coordination and perhaps visual spatial relationships related to that. So he was in JROTC, and he did join and was on their marksmanship team. And so it is an aspect of measuring how good he is with aiming, with hand-eye coordination, and I thought this clip summarized that.
Aaron, 7B, please.
I think 10th, partially 10th.
You're right,
Yeah.
okay. So you went there, and how many people were in your class?
30 people at a time.
30 per class, and if you...
In JRTC in the morning, so we have different names for morning sessions in JRTC. The morning session I was in first year was really short. There was not that many kids, so we had a chance to speak, get to know one another, build up our confidence with each other.
Okay, so was your JROTC, was that your first class of the day?
Yeah.
And that's when you went, and I just want to make sure I got the years right, because you left there roughly when you hadn't quite finished the 11th grade, is that right?
I think so, yeah.
And then...
I was doing really well in that class.
In the JRTC?
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. Who was your teacher?
John DeMauro.
Okay, and I've never been in a
Sergeant John DeMauro.
In a JRTC class. So tell me what happens in a JRTC class.
JRTC is the short-term definition of JRTC is Junior Officer Training Corps.
Okay.
It's supposed to make you ready to go in the military, because that's what I wanted. I wanted to seek a military career in the K-9 unit, if not K-9 unit, then Army Ranger School. So I was trying to learn everything I can about the military. So the first step was to go into JRTC, take a class, learn marksmanship, because I wanted to experience that, just to get an idea of what it's like. And I learned a lot.
Okay, tell me what you learned about marksmanship.
I learned how to shoot a gun. I learned how to zero in a rifle.
What does zero in a rifle mean? I don't know what that means.
It means to shoot dead center or shoot on impact. Where you want to shoot your target, like, see that bottle?
Yeah.
If you wanted to shoot the top of that, you're supposed to zero it in, so you keep shooting it until you're able to get the cap off or something like that. That's when you're ready.
Okay, what type of training, gun or whatever, did they use?
We didn't do anything that you see on TV.
No?
No. What we did was we sat on a platform, like a little green thing, and then we set up our rifles. We put on these little things around our arms, and we had some sort of air pellet gun, which I think functioned on CO2 gas. So we had cylinders in it. So you pull back the thing, and then you're supposed to put it in the thing, and then you're supposed to let go. And then you look, and it's supposed to hit the target about 10 meters. So we set up these like targets, 10 meters. And there's, what is it, prone, kneeling, and then standing.
Okay.
And
Three different positions you have to learn.
three positions, yeah. With
And
that particular,
how did they determine if you were a good or not?
you have to shoot a target at 10 meters the size of a dime or quarter.
Okay.
It actually decreased in size over the years. I don't know if it's, I heard it's a penny now.
Okay. So overall, how did you do as a mark in that class or in that JRTC? Were you
Well, I
a
was
good
in the
shot?
top. I was in the top one. I was probably the the third or fourth one from being top in the class.
Okay.
The females are a lot better at shooting than men.
And that's because.
They're just better shooters.
Okay.
Even the Marines did their own study on that. It's true. Women are better shooter than men.
Okay. And so, anything else you learned in that class?
I learned leadership skills. I learned
Give me some examples, some leadership skills.
whenever someone's in need, you're supposed to go up to them and make sure they're all right. If someone were to challenge you in a fight, you're supposed to walk away from it. If you're marching and someone falls down, you're supposed to help them up. And if someone's having issues with some sort of class, you're supposed to help them out.
Okay.
You're supposed to stick up for one another. That's what theirs is about.
Okay.
All right. Couple things important about that clip. One of them I think stands out pretty clearly, and that is he understands about sighting a weapon, aiming a weapon. He can do fairly well, hit a target, and so that's a skill that he had and knowledge that he had prior to February 14th. The other thing is kind of at the end, and maybe it's subtle, maybe it's not, but when he talks about the leadership skills that he had learned, these are coping skills and things, how you handle a situation that he was aware of, had learned in class prior to February the 14th, 2018. So you help someone up if they fall down.